We begin with breaking news at 11. The woman who falsely accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of rape back in 2006 has admitted she lied. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
And I'm Ashley Rowe. It's the first time Crystal Mangum has gone on the record saying she lied. Let's get straight over to Brian Schrader in the WRAL Live Center with the very latest. Brian?
This was a huge story almost 20 years ago, and tonight Crystal Mangum says she made up those allegations and she's asking for forgiveness. In a new episode of the Let's Talk to Kat podcast, Mangum said she made up the story. She says in the interview, "I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong." Mangum asked for their forgiveness. In March of 2006, Mangum was performing as a stripper at a Duke men's lacrosse team party. She claimed that 3 players, David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman, trapped her in a bathroom and raped her. And in 2007, then Attorney General Roy Cooper dismissed all charges against the men, declaring them innocent. Cooper said there was no credible evidence that any assault occurred. You might also remember from that case, the district attorney in Durham at the time, Mike Nifong, was disbarred because of misconduct during the prosecution of that case, and he later resigned as Durham district attorney. That interview that Crystal Mangum did is from the North Carolina Correctional Center for Women, where she is currently serving a sentence for a second-degree murder of her boyfriend back in 2013. Why did she do this? She says in the interview that she, quote, wanted validation from people and not from God.
Some people are just trash through and through. Some people are just trash through and through. You got people online, of course, taking pity on this woman, saying, oh my God, well, she didn't mean it. She's asking for forgiveness. She's on the right path. Mind you, this is a woman who has led with chaos throughout her entire life. And I remember this case because it was a huge deal. She affected, and it wasn't just those 3 boys that whose lives she affected. You heard him say there was a DA that got fired. There were other people who ended up being disbarred. I believe the coach of that lacrosse team ended up losing his job. She affected so many lives. So many lives were affected and ruined by this woman. So many. All over a lie. And this is exactly why I don't believe all women. This is exactly why I never played into the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement is one of the most tragic and terrible movements to ever be created by women in this country. And this is why. You wonder about all these now, and it's the real victims that really have to deal with this, because what this does is it puts doubt in everybody's mind. So the real victims and women who have been taken advantage of and assaulted, now their voice gets pushed further and further back into the shadows, because you have terrible women and pieces of trash like this out here just lying on people just for the hell of it, because she wanted validation from people. I can't believe this. No, I take it back. I absolutely can believe it. I can believe it, because this is what our society is. We live in a world where everybody just wants validation from somebody else. So they do shit like this. They ruin lives like it's just an ordinary day. I saw people bringing up Emmett Till and relating this to Emmett Till. What does this have to do with Emmett Till? We know what happened in that case, and we know what happened with the white woman who blamed him. May she rot in hell. That has nothing to do with this. I don't agree with anybody. It has nothing to do with color. I don't agree with anybody ruining somebody else's life just because you was in your feelings. And she was a stripper at the time, by the way. And by the way, this isn't the only offense that she's done. That wasn't the only offense. Like I said, she's led her entire life being a piece of shit. Let's hear what she had to say.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. and I hope that they can forgive me. And I testified falsely.
Over here it says, at the time the story had gained national attention because Crystal and the district attorney at the time, Mike Nifong, tried to make it seem as though the alleged attack was racially motivated. Nifong attempted to charge the players with first-degree assault, kidnapping, and sexual assault, and proudly claimed that the DNA results would prove their guilt. Unfortunately, that trial did not go as planned due to many inconsistencies in Crystal's story. I wonder why. The case was essentially dropped by the Attorney General, and he declared the men innocent. But by that time, the damage was already done. The players had lost out on their education at Duke. The coach was fired, as I said, and everyone involved's reputation was ruined, including the DA, who had to resign because he was so disgraced by the botched case. As for Crystal at the time, she wasn't punished because a judge was concerned about her mental state. You gotta be fucking kidding me. But a few years later, she was convicted of killing her boyfriend and is currently serving 14 to 18 years in prison for that. Prison is where she conducted the current interview where she confessed to lying. Remember when I told you that her entire life she has led with nothing but chaos? This woman has been trashed from her conception. She has been nothing but a head case. Don't believe me? Here, I want to pull up something else aside from the November 13th killing. Check this out. In November of 2013, she was found guilty of second-degree murder after she stabbed her boyfriend, Reginald Day, who died 10 days later. She argued that she acted in self-defense, saying that she feared Day would kill her. But that wasn't all. She was convicted and sentenced to 14 to 18 years in prison. Previously, in February of 2010, she was charged with the attempted murder of her then live-in partner, Milton Walker, but was convicted of contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile, injury to personal property, and resisting a public officer, meaning they let her off. They let her off easy. And what did she do? Just 3 years later, she ended up killing another man. This lady is trash. This woman is trash. And this is exactly why we don't believe all women over here on this channel. I need proof. I need proof. Sorry. Everybody should require proof. And this is exactly why. This stuff that's going on with Jay-Z, I need proof. I need proof. I need it. You're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to show and prove. And if you can't do that, get the fuck out of here. And I believe that there should be some type of felony that these people that lie out here and ruin lives, I believe that there should be some type of conviction or felony that they end up facing ultimately. I think that they should get whatever punishment they try to dish out to the supposed offender. I think these people should get it. Because why are you out here ruining lives like it's nothing? Taking away from real victims' pain, trying to shine a light on some bullshit that never happened. This is why we don't believe all women. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.